What's poppin', man? Episode 2, Passing Time with Aunt Andre. So real quick, before I introduce my guy, second guest, the first name was Come Kick It, but once I uploaded the video, it was like mad other YouTubers and YouTube channels and shit with same name. So like we wasn't rocking with that. We going original. You already know.
No copyright.
You feel me? So Passing Time. That's gonna be it going forward. But my guy, man, had to get my guy in here, Tom.
Good to be here.
Appreciate
It's
it,
good to be
bro.
here. Passing Time Podcast.
Let's get it, man. So
What do we got for him?
you already know one of the biggest things on this podcast is gonna be sports.
I'm gonna smoke my thing.
Oh yeah, get it popping. What flavor is that?
We're rocking with a strawberry milkshake.
Coming exotic.
It's the flair. I mean, you can get these at any spot, but this is the bigger one.
Oh shit.
You know what I mean? And it's a little less easier to lose.
Definitely.
Call it the glizzy.
Okay.
It's thick.
Oh shit, and it got a nice color to it too. So
it tastes like ice cream.
Definitely gonna catch the eye.
Ice cream.
Oh shit, he's coming exotic with the flavors.
Strawberry ice cream.
So Tom, I know you fuck with me and Tom. First of all, we gonna take it back, man. We met.
Let them know where we're at with it.
So me and Tom, we met in high school, bro. What grade was we in? Was it junior, senior situation?
I feel like it had to be. Well, I wasn't there freshman year, right? So it had to be sophomore, because unless it was, it wasn't really in the middle school days. So sophomore year, because I was in Canada for my freshman year. Remember, I wasn't. Yeah, I did the whole stint. I played ice hockey up in Canada for my freshman year. That was cool. Basically, lived with a family. I woke up every day. Basically, it was like off ice training for an hour, then an hour of like stick handling, then hit the shower, go on the ice for 2 or 3 hours, and then we would do like 3 hours of actual school a day, and then an hour of like hockey class, and then you'd be done. It was like a 7 or 8 hour full ass day, but that was cool. Came back though, and so that was sophomore year, right? So it had to be around there, because then that's when I met Jen. That's when we was all partying and doing the whole thing, bro.
Yeah. So
at
Tom,
the HQ.
Yes.
Only few know the HQ. If you've been to the HQ, you know.
Real shit.
You know.
Real rap. If you don't know us, Tom, we live in the same area, South Jersey. Well, actually, no, not now. You live in Philly, right?
I'm on the other side of the river right now. I'm up at the top spot of Philly. We got a nice little spot out there. It's a little yard, but I'm about tired of the city, man. I'm ready to come back, to be honest with you, but
we're going to welcome you back with open arms. You already know. So, Tom, when we linked up, there was a couple mutual interests off the rip. Sports, definitely. But music was one of the immediate connections.
Yeah.
In terms of artists we listen to, and we both rap. You know, that's going to be something that's going to get involved in the podcast a lot. And I can say for myself, bro, like Tom, bro, you got some of the livest bars.
Bro, we were getting it.
Real shit. And a live flow, bro. Like, that's the thing about music and shit. Like, you gotta always be humble and realize, like, all right, you could be confident and have something that you deliver with, but it's other people that have stuff that's going to be better that you don't have or come crazy. Like, I would always tell people, like, you and Mar, shout out to Mar G, y'all had some of the toughest flows, man, when it comes to spitting, and the bars is crazy.
Yeah, but at the same time, bro, we would get into the freestyles, bro, and you would just eat lunch, bro. So you would be able to come off the top and just be like, talk about the gray shirt and just my watch on my wrist, somehow make it all come together. Like, me and Mar would sit there and be like, how is he fucking doing that, yo? Like, because when it came to the pen and the pad, yeah, we could have some time and the flow and delivery.
Right.
But bro, when it came to that freestyle, dog, we couldn't do it, bro. We
couldn't
do it, bro. I'm telling you, couldn't touch them.
We had some crazy sites though, bro, all together. Like, especially some of the community sites.
I'm telling you, man, if there's a way we could show the people, like if you edit something into this to show the people, bro, or a clip it of the song.
Bro. We gotta start incorporating
that.
We'll
figure that out soon. We'll figure that out soon.
Real shit.
That shit, man. We still to this day we'll probably go on YouTube and find them old shits. They all still exist. I know John. He has a whole YouTube page, the TVJE. It was called.
Yeah.
I think it's still out there, and all the songs that I uploaded are on there. I know we have at least 3 of them that I uploaded from the HQ days, and then I know Mars still got his whole YouTube fucking stacked.
Yeah, and he just dropped like a little tape
I heard he
recently.
just dropped something.
Yeah, a little summer vibe shit is dope. So man, fucking all right. So freestyle songs. So me and Tom did a lot of music together. Oh shit, we got an invader.
We got an intruder.
We got let's go. Coming crazy. Oh, matter of fact, we got this. I'm putting this right on deck.
Oh,
Zapper. might catch it live. You know what I mean? Put it in. You see him too? We're gonna put it in hand grasp range. That shit try to hit me though. Damn. All right, so
I got you.
Fucking yeah. Nah, we laid down a lot of live tracks. Me Tom, Mar. A lot of combos off that. What I never knew was, bro, what got you into rap? Like it's not like you met me or met us and just like, okay, I want to rap now. You were writing for a while.
Yo, right? It's a funny story, honestly. I gotta tell it. We're young, right? I mean, this goes back to, I remember like the second grade. Like, I remember being obsessed with Eminem. You know, that Marshall Mathers LP came out, and that, like, my pops wouldn't let me get the dirty version, so I had to always kind of sneak around and listen to the, because you know how the CDs would come with both. You could buy the parental advisory version or the regular version, and, you know, I'd always book my pops for the sticker, you know. But anyway, I basically, you know, I bleached blonde my hair in second or third grade, bro. I've had these earrings in my ears since third grade. Okay. Or second grade.
I was about to say, you've always had those earrings.
Always had my ears pierced, basically. Eminem came out, and I was the real Slim Shady of Pine Acres, bro. I was the real Slim Shady. Let me tell you, I had my grandma bleach my hair. I went with the white T-shirts. We had, shout out to Kevin Zarzicki, me, him, and our boy Vince would just rock the same gear. There's a story, man. We went up, so back in the era where it was Eminem, 50 Cent, the whole G Unit, like, was coming out heavy, bro. At that time, that's crazy, you know, somewhere in the 2000s, early 2000s, like, in the club just dropped, and that shit was just, you know, the wave. You remember where everybody knows where they were in our age, where the wave was at. And so
different time in music, for
real. And so that was hitting, and we were so caught up, bro. I remember we walked to the Food Mart, Oak Valley Food Mart, and they were selling do-rags at the time. And 50 Cent wore the do-rag.
He always had to do
Bro, me and my white boy Vince go in that bitch, buy some do-rags, put them on like how we think we know how to, and walk back home down Ogden Road. Two white dudes. Think of this. Think of somebody driving by watching. Two white kids, young white kids, like, you know, 10, 11 years old, with do-rags on, walking down the street. And, you know, I walked in my house with this thing. My dad's like, what are you doing, bro? Because, like, I don't have the type of hair that resolves a do-rag. You know what I mean? It's literally, I did it for the complete wrong aesthetic at the time. You know what I'm saying? So, like,
yeah, that's
but, bro, like, it's almost the crazy part of, you'll see kids doing wild things today. And I can't even hold these kids sometimes, because I'm like, yo, I did some stupid shit too when I was, you know what I mean? Like, I was doing some silly shit. Because there's some silly shit going on with the kids. Some of it, I don't, you know, but I was like, yo, I was one of them kids walking down the street with a do-rag because I saw 50 Cent in the video because he was the hottest thing. You know what I mean? They were killing it. Right. And, you know, not even that. Eminem has a picture. I used to go ahead, was the biggest fan, bro. I used to go ahead and get the magazines, bro. Remember, like, the, what was it, the M magazine and the J14, bro. They used to put these magazines up at Wawa.
Were really
big things, bro. They used to have to stand up at Wawa and go in there. And so I used to, like, cut pictures out of all my favorite people and shit. So it was tons of Eminem, bro. There's this fire-ass picture of Eminem with the do-rag, bro. You might be able to picture it. I see the thing right now. He's wearing his do-rag. And I was like, yo, like, there's the look. Let me go ahead and get that. Man, and that was just, I remember being just like, so that was just the hook, line, and sinker. Eminem, that whole era.
Okay, so he pulled you in.
And that was just, you know, from there, bro, rap was it, bro. We were, you know, we were all, like, at DSC. And, you know, what was the soundtrack? Come on, man. Anybody watching this podcast, if you're from this town, you remember the days of DSC. You know what I mean? We could go into it.
So let's,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, we're going to dive in because, like, all right. When I first moved, so I'm from North Jersey originally, right? From North Jersey. Moved to Delaware when I was little until 5th grade. Then mid-5th grade or, like, the beginning of 5th grade, moved back to Jersey, South Jersey, right? So I moved back when DSC was, like, towards its end / retiring. So I got there and heard all the memories,
all the stories,
all the like the you know what I mean, like the legends. And,
yeah. You heard of all the things that happened, the fights in the bathroom. Yeah. I mean, we were there. I will never ever want my kids to do what the hell we were doing in that room. So our parents drop us off, and it's the skating rink. Anybody knows this? It's skating for people who don't. Skating rink. Yeah, we're going skating, mom. Skating, dad. Right.
Like ATL, you know the movie ATL.
Yo, right like that, right?
Shit
But
was
except
tough.
we would the skating rink was empty all night. The skating rink got used for dodgeball games, right? Because they would do dodgeball, and the boys
Oh
would get
shit,
all
that's
hype
tough.
and play dodgeball, right? But the real party was in the back room. They had the bumping speakers. They would play all hip hop, and we would
That's
be.
good.
What grades was this? This was fifth grade, sixth grade. I guess fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Maybe sixth,
No,
seventh, and
you're right
eighth
because you're right because I got there
because we
fifth
was doing
grade
middle
and I didn't
school.
even know about it immediately, and then by the time I knew about it, like seventh, eighth grade, yeah, that makes more
Right,
sense.
right. So then so we're getting twerkies on the wall by these girls. We're popping thongs of these little girls, and there's people facilitating this, like grown not chaperones, but people
That
work
worked
there.
there,
You know
yeah.
what I mean? And they're
So
sitting
this
on
was
a
like a
speaker,
club,
a
like it's like a
club
club.
for kids. Like I'm telling you, and this was as ratchet as it got. Like the mission for the men to of the night was how many girls could you get to grind on you? Would you men round like they would cover the whole wall? All the dudes get your spot on the wall, boys. Get your spot on the wall. You stand tough on the wall like this. Try to get a girl, come over and dance. You know what I mean? And then she's dancing on you like this. You're like, yeah, that's my boy. You know what I mean? Woohoo! Pop her thong a little bit. Yo, I'm telling you. And then leave there feeling like a king, like a king. And
At
that shit was
in
the
at middle
way
school.
middle school, right? And I don't want my daughter. If I have a daughter, God bless, I don't want her doing that shit in middle
Right.
school. How am I gonna stop that?
See,
Oh
that's
man.
crazy because like, is that a lightning in the bottle situation where like, I almost want to say it's not because the world is big. Like, it probably just goes on.
Yeah, the kids are gonna do what they're gonna do. I can't,
Yeah, yeah,
it's just a
yeah.
matter of just being cool, doing what my pops.
And like,
I told my pops what we were doing.
I'm about saying
He
like,
knew exactly what I was doing, but there were plenty of kids there whose parents thought that their
just
whose
skating.
fathers his fathers thought that their daughters were just skating. Meanwhile, they are getting their underwear pulled out of their pants, snapped thongs, and dancing, and their father
to
would have a
the
fucking heart attack if they know what their daughters were up in
to
there
the
doing.
latest 2000 banger. That's out in hip hop
I'm
music.
telling you, bro. We was, I think of like Lil Wayne, Fireman, like
Oh
that. That's
yes,
the first time I heard that song was in there, bro. And that shit, when that came out, that you hear them sirens, bro. You knew that song was coming on, bro.
that's a classic. That's a
Oh,
classic.
bro, it was a party, dog.
That's a
That shit was a
classic.
party every weekend. No drugs, no alcohol, bro. That was before it all. That was before
Before
anybody
social
knew.
media got
Before social
crazy.
media, we might have had the instant messenger, right? Let me put up an away
Oh yeah,
message,
yeah,
go into
yeah.
DSC,
Like aim and
bang,
shit.
aim, instant
Yeah.
message, right? But I mean, as far as partying and shit, that was it. Like that was the party. It was all about the girls, the fun, and this and that. It was very pure, very clean. There was no like, not
Right.
even. I don't even think we were smoking cigarettes. Like you know what I mean? It was
Yeah.
that pure, and it was, but it wasn't pure. Like let me rephrase this. Like
Yeah.
we
Yeah.
were getting ratchet in
Yeah.
there, right? Like, but at the same time, I look at it back now. And I feel like that was some of the most more cleanliness fun that I've had in my life, right? So
Right.
like,
Right. Right.
that was an era, yo. Anybody who's watching this, the DSC days, man.
DSC,
Ooh,
like you said, South Jersey. When I got to back to
definitely
Jersey and
skating
South
rink.
Jersey, that's all I heard. Like, hey man, like you coming out to DSC? I heard this like the last couple years, seventh, eighth grade maybe.
That was the vibe, and it died off. It just became something. It was too much, and then people
Everybody
found
got
out
older
about
and
it.
got into different stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. That was it, man. That was the vibe. So that if like from hip hop, right, and then everything changed. So at that point, we listened to people, and we were real into the Meek Mills and the Philly street rap,
Classic Philly
like
shit.
YouTube, fucking. Reed Dollars, Joey Jihad, Meek
Man, you bringing
Mills,
me
like,
back.
yeah, Hollow, man. These dudes who would just, be somewhere in the city, some guy have a fucking camera rolling, and they're just ripping each other's heads off with the bars. Like, bro, we used to have them things, like, on our phones, and then have our other boy recording it so we could save it as a screen or as a ringtone. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Like, we would have Meek Mills, like,
Oh, I remember
just a
those days.
freestyle, like, while he's out there, like, with his with the ringtone. Like, what the hell is that? When my phone rings, bro. And then that, right? So that was the vibe, and that
Yeah.
vibe was gritty. We were on hanging out on the corner at the wall in the valley, like, and the whole crew was listening to that. But when me and you started kicking, and when we got into the vibe,
when we
you know what I
linked
mean?
up high school,
There was a whole era that started. You know, that Mac Miller, that fucking Wiz Khalifa, that Chris Webby, that backpack esque rap, that you know, maybe call it white boy, but not really. Like,
right, prime
it
Kanye
wasn't even
time,
necessarily gangster rap, right?
right,
Like Mac Miller was rapping about doing the same things we were doing.
yep,
Like my man
yep,
was taking trips to the shore, but that was all gravy. But I knew I wanted more. Come on, bro. Like
yes, yes.
that's
Damn, that's one of my
when
favorite
we heard
tracks.
that, it was like, man, we loved hip hop, we loved rap. We've been, you know, trying to do our best with it before, like, you know, but we were always listening to shit that we couldn't really relate to, right? Like we grew up in Pine Acres, Oak Valley, like we did what they were doing, but on a very smaller scale, very smaller scale.
Right.
But when Mac came out, bro, and Wiz came out, and they were just talking about blazing, partying with the boys and girls,
It all
just
like it
we was
formed a
like, yeah,
connection,
in the
bro.
middle of high school, bro. I mean, man, think of the soundtracks that came out when we were there,
Are
like
you
that
kidding
whole
me,
era.
bro?
I mean, and that's when we took off, bro. I
Yeah,
mean, we bit onto that. We said, this
yeah,
is it. We need to bite. Like, this is the vibe, bro. We
yeah,
was making music, running shows, videos, bro, what have you,
yeah. And
man?
like he
Come
said
on.
earlier, we're gonna shit gonna pop in. We're gonna play some music, show some music, fucking. We're gonna incorporate that shit in the podcast.
That
Stay
shit gonna
tuned
be
for that.
sick.
That's
That
gonna
shit gonna be
That's
sick.
just gonna be
Yeah,
sick. Like with classic shit that was already recorded and new shit.
yeah.
And new shit. All right, man. So rap. Eminem. First of all, let me take a piece out of Eminem page because I fuck with Eminem and Eminem. MMLP2, Marshall Mathers LP2. That's one of my favorite works from him.
Really? The
Yeah.
second one.
I don't know if it's my favorite overall, but it's one of
Right.
my favorites from
Right.
him. It was just it aligns with the time that like I was going through a lot of shit, and like obviously Eminem, 80% of his rap and more is pulling you out of shit. Like that's and I mean that as a compliment to Eminem. Like that shit, like he really got that inspiring type of music.
Right.
And MMLP2, like that was the time where I was going through shit, and like he was just hitting. I mean, he was always Eminem has bangers, bro. He's a goat, right?
Right.
He's a goat.
Without
Because I feel like first of all, let's say this about Eminem, bro. I feel like even this now to this day, there's a bubble of hate towards Eminem. And like now I get
it's
it.
easy to hate the GOAT.
Right. And I
mean,
get like he's not the Eminem that he was back then, but like I don't know. Some people just I feel like they just lose
you got to look at the longevity in it, right? Like, so.
sight of the picture.
Yeah,
The whole
yeah.
thing.
So, I mean, you know, if we're going to talk about like the greatest rappers alive, like I factor in the greatest couple things, right? And there's different, like there's all around, there's influence, there's skill, right? And like there's, like, so with Eminem, it's like, you know, there's errors in his works that like almost can't replicate. Like it's it's a different style now, and it's for whole different people. But he's a different person in his head. So there's been times where like in his growth of his music, you could tell when he's reaching and he's trying to do too much, and he's in his head, and that's like growth, you know. And that's the part that's easy to knock down. But you look at anybody else's career, and there's parts in that career that at one point when they happen, we're almost like, ah, nah, that's whack. But when you turn around and look at the career as a whole, that's really kind of impactful for what happened down the line. Like if you want an example, think of like of Lil Wayne when he started doing his whole rock and roll and skateboard vibe, right? Like I think, you know, me included, and maybe our crew, like we were like, what's this cat doing? Like we like some of them rock and roll Wayne tracks were kind of whack to us. You know, the whole skinny jeans thing, we definitely weren't rocking with it because we were, you know, baggied up with it, right? So,
right.
you know, that kind of struck us as weird. But now look at the game.
Yeah.
Right. Now look at the game. It's completely in that direction. Weezy almost, you know, deflected the game off of him into that direction. It's tight pants, it's ripped jeans, it's rock and roll this. It's you know, the more guitars you got in with hi-hats, you're winning. It's, you know, so that's the influence. Now with Eminem, it's tough like to kind of compare in that same sense, but that influence of rap has birthed people that like think of somebody, like it just opens a lane for people like Mac or people like Jack Harlow, or I don't even mean to say color of skin, but these people don't even get recognized without that. right? And then this opens up a whole new lane of hip hop, right? So you could
Whole
just
new
like
lane.
the bars have always mattered to Marshall and that shit. Like
That's the thing.
the
Like,
bars only.
I feel
So
like that's
that
one thing
whole
too.
era, that whole like that's his everybody on his radio and everybody on the people. It's just the bars. You know what I mean? They're
Yeah.
not really the club hits, and
Right.
they're not like the beats are sick, but they're not these what you're hearing on the radio. These
Right.
motherfuckers are speaking
Speaking
bars.
bars. That's the thing too. Like, M is he's so great at speaking bars, like and spitting bars and just raw rapping and going off that like people they want him to do more and stuff like there's other people that are gonna do more. Like there's other people that's gonna be more diverse. That's not his lane. I mean, he has diverse tracks though. Like some of his original hits was this the real Slim Shady,
Yeah.
like Superman. Like I
Yeah,
don't know, like he
I'm not gonna lie. I mean, there's a definite like if you're gonna take the old Eminem and what happened in the last couple of years, like
yeah.
there's nothing to be compared about them old Eminem
Oh,
albums.
that's
Like I
no
mean,
off the
like
rip. There's nothing to be compared
they're
about
some of the
that. Nah.
greatest hip hop albums of all time, and they'll never be replicated. But it's the man was a different man. Like that man was under an influence. He was in a different mode. Like I just listened to the song the other day. It was Jimmy Bryan and Mike. I don't know if you've ever heard it. Anybody,
Nah.
any Eminem fans, do listen to Jimmy Bryan and Mike? That shit is just wild. He tells a
Is
story
it
of a house
a
party.
newer joint or old? Okay.
Old M, right? And he's telling a story of his house party, and they're just getting fucked up, bro. And the shit that he's saying, and it's just like bizarre, bro. But if you think about it, like the shit he's still saying is bizarre. Like, but it's also, it's almost like we want our expectations are getting in the way.
Right.
Right? So we want something of Eminem that like he's just putting out what he's liking. You know what I mean? Like, and this is what it is. But we have these, we want this, right?
Yeah.
And so
yeah,
he finds himself probably going back, listening to his old tracks, trying to embody that old person, which is not him. So it puts
That's
him in
very true.
this tough spot and put out a body of work that probably isn't something he could stand behind. You know what I mean? A lot of prior artists do it, and him being the GOAT, nothing goes unlooked at. Even his worst body of fucking art of music is sold in most people's, best.
That's perspective right there.
You
That's
know what I mean? So, it's never going to be that bad. Like, I've listened to every album he's dropped, every single one of them, multiple times, And so there's a lot of people who say the same. But, in the sense of, like, his long, like, you want, in my opinion, the best rapper alive, like, in the game is Lil Wayne. Like I'm not even gonna. I'm gonna have to give him that because of the whole roundabout factor. You know what I mean? But like,
and he's not like everybody watching, bro. Just everybody in general. I would say hip hop fans. Um, the majority would agree with you, bro. Like, and I wouldn't argue it. Even if I felt different, I wouldn't argue. You can't argue that, bro.
Yeah, it's kind of.
It's like if someone said Jay-Z or even if someone said Eminem, I'm not those three. I'm not gonna like they're top goats. Like
right
to me, those three are like some of the top goats. And Wayne is one of the most. To me, he's one of the most talked about as number one that I've ever heard. To be honest,
there's a couple reasons behind it. Like so, if you're gonna look at just pure influence on the game, right? Like I had mentioned before, that there is no Lil Wayne. No one else has put more influence on the game than Lil Wayne, as far as that I can see in my lifetime. When he came into the game, what was happening, what is acceptable, and what people were rapping about, and the subject matter, all that, and Lil Wayne basically went out of the realm with, uh, the tight clothes, the lean rap. If you think about it, I mean, I know that was a Houston thing based, but I mean, he really kind of got on with it. The double cup. I mean, come on. I don't know if that was also a Houston thing, but my man stapled it.
Yeah,
right.
He did.
Also,
he did.
It's not until Lil Wayne did a lot of these things that they become these popular things, and you got people go like I'm a big Young Thug fan. He as much as the beef that they had,
right?
Like he will say how much of the props he gives to Lil Wayne for all the influence he's got. All these rappers, all these young kids, these Lil this and Lil that. Come on, it's in the name. Like I mean, it's just the dude.
That's so
and
true.
then so there's that, right? There's game influence. That's Wayne got it all. He's got his hand into every little rapper's influence, right? But let's talk about the bars. I mean, bro. I mean, to this day,
Wayne's
to this
bars.
day. I mean, he was spitting. I still listen to something from him, and I'll be like,
Which
it take me 3 minutes to think about
yeah,
what
yeah,
he's
yeah.
talking about, and then once I figure it out, I said, he really said that. Like, but how does he? It said that he doesn't write anything down. It said that he doesn't write. Get him.
Yeah, I seen that. I seen
He
that.
doesn't write nothing
This
down.
one's so small, he might go through the fucking thing.
And so,
But
if he could
I heard he
think
freestyles. Yeah.
of these things so quick, and it takes me a few minutes to think of how they put together, but he's
And
putting
that's
them
how you
off
know
the
someone
rip.
is good,
That
man.
is-
Like,
that
because
is-
M is like that too in a lot of his stuff. Like, he, Lil Wayne can put a track out, like you said, 2002 banger, 2002 sleeper, and you could hear it a million times since 2002, and then you listen to it tomorrow and catch a bar, 2 bars, 3 bars that you're like, whoa, oh, oh, I finally now know what that means. Like, oh shit, he said that. That like that's what separates some of the goods and the greats and the goats and shit to me.
And
And
people will
shit like
say
that.
Lil Wayne fell off, and that's something easy for people to say, and I'll always rebuttal that. But like, have you listened to his newest work? Like, do you appreciate hip hop and rap, and have listened to his newest work? And his newest, like I'm talking, it might not even be his newest. I could be late, but like Dedication 6, D6 Reloaded. This is all
I think I've
like
heard some of it.
2 years ago, maybe a
And
year
he
and a
was
half
snapping.
now.
He was snapping.
Snapping.
Yeah,
And I'm
Wayne
talking
always
like
snaps.
these bars are just. He's not lost a beat. So the fact that this guy, he's old, he's getting old. My
Yeah.
man's got to be an older man. He's got kids. He's like, but
He's
he is
old.
still with the bars. And I know he's not doing it, the shit he's rapping about these days, but that don't matter. I want to deliver. I want to be able to be riding my car. I'll be texting him. One of my favorite things to do is to go ahead and throw Wheezy's new mixtape on, and just to text my boys back and forth fire bars that like, what did he just say?
Weezy
Yo,
has
this
non-stop
man just
bars.
said right, and we just
Non-stop.
go for hours
Oh
on
my God.
crazy bars that just like what this cat said, and it's nuts, bro.
And like, if we're to pair the last two rappers up, let's pair them up. All the songs they did together is crazy.
Yeah,
What's the one?
fire.
Drop the World.
Yeah, yeah. And that was like,
Banger.
Wayne wasn't even
Banger.
like throwing bars out. He was spitting with a message in
Right,
that song,
right,
which he can do.
Yeah.
But when like my favorite Lil Wayne is when it's just like bar time.
Yeah, yeah.
And he's just got like
One of my favorite songs from him. Actually, hold on, wait. Let's hit this genre real quick, and
Let's
then
hit the John real quick. Pause it
we'll
up.
be right back.
Hit the
We'll be
John
right
real
back.
quick.
We were talking about Wayne, right?
And, and the plug.
Yeah.
Do a little plug first, you know what I mean?
So Wayne, I have a question for you about Wayne. What is your favorite album or piece of work from Wayne, bro? I have two. About like first.
That's tough to say, man. I mean, he, these new works are hitting in a new way. Like I just, but the other ways that I'm biased, right? Because they, like I said, they played a part in that whole DSC days. The Carter days were just, fire. The Carter fire is alright. I mean, it's not my favorite Wayne thing.
I heard that one.
It's the newer one, but I probably gotta give it to the Carter 3 because it just, so many of them songs are just like ring off in my growing up.
You said Carter 3?
Yeah.
Bro, that's my favorite album too. That's my favorite album too.
Come on, that shit is. It's just a work of art. It's one of them albums.
Great,
you know
bro.
what I mean?
What's the tracks? Miss Officer's on there, right?
Receipt.
We should be able to know a milli. Tie My Hands.
Yeah. Mr. Carter.
Mr. Carter.
Fucking sick, bro. I mean, they keep
That's
the
a
list.
great
I mean,
album.
I could think of. I don't know. We could sit here the whole time, but
So I actually have a favorite mixtape too. From
yeah.
Review.
Okay. I mean, that's a tough one too, because like I don't know. It could be the droughts, because that's a good point in my life. But I'm telling you, these dedications.
All right, I'm gonna tap into these.
Ahead.
I'm gonna tap into these. Mine's my favorite though, up to now, is No Ceilings.
Yeah. I mean, that's untouchable. Untouchable. You know what I mean?
Ice Cream is one of my favorite songs from Wayne, bro. Just straight bars. Ice Cream. Good Night, the remix to Good Night.
I mean, think about the whole mixtape era, bro. We
Swag
was
Surf.
on that piff, like we were rocking that fucking app, man, or that website,
Is
bro.
that still a thing?
Oh yeah, they're an app, and I actually
Oh
have it
shit.
still. It's not that cool of an
I was about
app,
to ask
but
you how is it compared to then? How active? Still same?
it's not. Yeah, I mean, it's as far as active, I don't know as many users and whatnot, but it
Right, right, right.
still has all the mixtapes. Like remember, I said that we listened to that Philly street rap. That Piff still has all them mixtapes that you can't get on Spotify, right? So you can't get them anywhere else, but you can. I could listen to all the Flamers and Flamers 2.5s and like all that on
Flame. That's
that Piff
impressive.
app. So I keep it around for when I'm trying to get involved, and
So I gotta
all the
say,
Wheezy ones too.
AKA, I have to get that app tonight
Oh yeah,
because all
I
that you
mean,
named is on there.
yeah, all that, and just one quick
You
search, all
can't get
them
that
Joe,
on
you can't nowhere
nowhere.
else. And so the app, you get it on there, and so
Good book.
I mean, I have to plug it in because sometimes I just want to hear my Flamers, bro. No
Right.
ceilings, all the Wheezy tapes. I mean, I'm pretty sure they get most of their hype off of Lil Wayne dropping mixtapes because I think he still drops his mixtapes off of Dat Piff every once in a while. You know how they go. They
Yeah.
like to keep it home. I remember Mac Miller crushing Dat
Oh,
Piff the
he
one night.
killed
Remember
it. Yeah.
when what was the album Best Day Ever?
Yeah, yeah.
He
That
put
one went
Best Day Ever
crazy.
on that Piff, broke the whole fucking shit.
Yeah, that one shook it
That
up.
was it, bro. I remember it was just, man. Shout out to Mac. Keep
Oh
that
yeah,
shit going.
man.
Hey, man.
What's it
Hey.
say? I
No
forget.
matter where life takes me, find me with a smile. That's the tattoo I was just happy I got for the rest of my
Nah, I
life.
fuck
You
with
know
that.
what
I
I
was
mean?
thinking about getting a remember one myself.
Yeah. That was
Um,
back, man. That was my like second tattoo. We were young, bro. I just
yeah,
felt that them lyrics were just they can't go wrong. You know, how does wherever life takes me,
a-
you find me with a smile, a
bro. A lot
bad
of his
thing to put
lyrics
on
couldn't
my
go
body,
wrong.
right? Like, I mean, and then him dying, it was just like, now I got a piece of him. I got a piece around. Like, I can't listen to Mac Miller that much anymore these days. It really kind of gets me into an emotional state. I kind of try to stay happy and shit as much as I can, man, because, you know, that I felt like that was a homie. We all did, bro. We all
Right,
felt like that. My man was our boy. We just hadn't met him yet. You
for
know,
sure.
we was listening to him. We listened to him speak his life all out on the tracks, and we felt like he was just speaking to us, bro. And
Yeah,
so, you know, and then he had a point in his career where we was all like kind of after Macadelic, he was doing when he was catching his big fame, kind of making the more popular stuff, right? When that's kind of when me personally, I didn't listen to him as much. Not to say I didn't listen to all but Good AM as like an album that I like breezed over. In
right,
that same time period of when most fans expect one thing and they're getting another,
right, right,
like kind
right.
of what we were discussing prior. So you know, but you know, looking back on that, man, it was like rock the world. So I try not to listen to them, but when someone puts them on, it's like a fight. Depends on if it's the right feeling, bro. I catch a tear. I catch a tear. You know what I
Bro,
mean?
it's not
I'm a
no
man. I
shame
can
in it.
cry about it. No
Yeah,
shame in it. We can
facts.
cry. As a man, you can cry. It's good. You good. You know what I mean?
The rub the dirt in the days is over, man. Like
Right.
you got to be
Cry.
tough. First of all, you
Sparks
got
up
to be
too.
tough. That's
Tough
for
men
sure.
cry. Don't
But
be a bitch.
yeah, you gotta let it fly sometimes, man. It's crazy out here in this world. Real shit.
Don't be a
Fucking.
bitch. Let the tears fly.
You
Ah, ah, ah.
gotta get that shirt
Yeah,
hashtag on
bumper
the
sticker
shirt.
coming. Bumper sticker
Bumper
coming.
sticker.
Hmm.
Oh man. All right. I want to shift gears from music to something that I don't know much about. That Tom knows a lot about, which is hockey.
Mm. Mm. Know a couple things.
Yeah. So before, all right, I want to take it to the professional route because we got the what's it called see, I don't even know the fuck
See, I'm gonna let him sit on it.
Stanley Cup.
Ah, all right,
All right,
all
before we
right.
get our way up there, take me through your journey real quick. You went to you said you were in Canada, right?
Yeah, proud of you for that.
Eh,
Fuck
Thank you,
yeah,
thank you.
yeah. So I was playing forever. Pop put me in on the skates at a young age. Yeah, I was doing travel hockey all up through middle school and young kid and all that stuff. Then freshman year, I went up to Canada, like I was saying, cool as hell. And then I came back. I did a couple more years, and then like you hit this age where you start to see like what it takes to make it to the NHL and then big leagues,
Right.
and what you're willing to get. And at that point, I come back. I started going to high school. I start finding girls, partying, got a job, got to get some money. Like, and I realized that like if you're gonna make it to the NHL, like you got to devote your
You
life.
got to be in
You
that
got to
zone,
be in the
locked
zone
in.
100%, million percent, more than 100%. Kind of takes a little bit of a mental craziness to get
Nah,
to
for
that
sure,
level,
for
right? And
sure. So
so
wait, real quick, your skills though. Like I've never seen you play or anything, but the vibe I got in school was that you was good. You know what I mean? You were good. So
Yeah, I probably would have beat everybody in my school because we didn't have nobody who played in our school. Minimal people, but I was like in the middle of the pack, you know,
okay,
which like I played AAA hockey, which was good, but I wasn't like a stud. You know what I mean? I was able to make good hockey plays, and I was a valuable asset for the teams I was on. But it never, if you're gonna break into or even get a college scholarship, a full on college scholarship,
yeah,
like you got to be in a mode. Like you got to be better. You got to be stronger, bigger, faster. Another thing, I was a late bloomer. You know what I
you
mean?
were a
So
late
I
bloomer.
was a late bloomer. I was like chubby, late. You know what I
Really?
mean? All the facial hair. Like still can't grow a damn beard. You know what I mean? I got baby face. So like at the age where these kids were starting to grow, stronger and
Right.
bigger and faster, I was kind of held back by I one wasn't as motivated. Like I told you, I found
True.
other things, and two, I just the work off ice portion of it, the body work that needed to go into the game, I just wasn't as much of a fan of. Like, I probably should be hitting the gym right now these days, and I just don't do it. So
Yeah,
like,
but like, all right. To your
you know,
credit, though, that's true. But to your credit, man, you're a very active person. Like, you know what I
right.
mean?
That's why I love golf because golf. I'm obsessed with golf, and I can play golf, and I can keep getting better at golf, and all I gotta do is keep playing.
Right.
To get better at hockey and to excel at ice hockey, to be better than the next person, you gotta do 150 squats a day, shoot 150 pucks a day, 150 push-ups a day, and that's a light regimen. I'm just throwing numbers out there. I mean, the dudes, the training camps that these guys go through to get to the levels that they're at are just ridiculous.
I'm
And
sure it's insane.
it's there's sacrifices that got to be had. So, you know, I was in the like when you're playing that much hockey though, it's like your whole life, regardless.
Right.
Like my pops was thankful as hell that he was able to give me all that years, man. But to get to that level, bro, that's I'm friends with Johnny Gaudreau. He plays for the Calgary Flames.
Oh, really?
His dad is a owner or something of Hollydale down the street, and but he was he had a skill from a young age. Like my man was good from a very young age. So there's some people that when you play with him, you say, oh, like he's got a shot, and there's looks.
Right.
It didn't help that his dad gave him every sheet of ice that he ever wanted to play on ever because
Really?
he was owner of the Hollydale
Right.
Ice
Right.
Arena.
Right.
So but nah, shout out to Johnny. He's killing it. But hopefully, kind of upset the Flames didn't make the fucking finals, and I had the Flames going to the finals. I had them, that's just because I'm a Flames fan. Before Johnny got drafted, big
Oh
Flames
shit.
fan. Before my man jumped on that team, I was a Flames fan for Drew
So
McGinley
Flames
days
is
back
what?
in the day. They're up in Calgary, Western Canada.
Okay.
I actually never been there. I was in Kelowna. They're kind of closer to Vancouver, but Calgary's a little bit out there. So I was like Flames fan forever, and so I had them running it up this season because they got a
They
good
had a good
team.
season.
Yeah, but they didn't make the Western Conference Finals. They lost to the Oilers. But I'm telling you, bro, it's the Avalanche and the Lightning in it right now,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
and the Lightning are about to go for their third cup in a row.
I do know that. All right.
Right?
So I had to shout somebody out because I don't watch hockey. I don't follow it too crazy at all. But I always try to stay tapped in to the championships and everything. So like there was this guy I used to work with in my last job.
Mm.
Huge Lightning fan.
Mm.
Mikey, shout out Mikey. He Paradise Mike. He he like day one like was before the first ring. Like so I worked with him for like maybe around 4 years. Before they got that first ring, he was like already Lightning.
Right. He was in.
So I experienced him getting the first ring. I experienced him getting the second ring. I don't work with him now, but I got to shout out to him because he would always like come in and like tell me about hockey, blah blah blah, like how his team's running it up, and I know they're in it now.
Yeah,
So what's your
yeah.
prediction for this one, man?
Honestly, bro,
Avalanche.
he's probably a fan from 2004. The Lightning won, and they beat the Calgary Flames in the finals. And
Oh
I was a
shit!
young
So
kid.
Mikey, if you watching this, you smiling right now.
Yeah. He probably remembers if
He's from he's from Florida too. So.
Okay, yeah. Back in '04, they won the cup and they beat the Flames, and I was a young Flames fan, and I was heartbroken, bro. I was upset that they had
Really?
lost.
Oh,
Bro.
so you
Yeah.
like them for a
I
long
was a
time?
big fan for a while. Yeah, man.
Okay, so
Yeah,
now I
I
have a
was
question for you. All right, you went to Canada, but you weren't born in Canada, right? You were born in Jersey.
Yeah, right there.
So what took the like the New Jersey Devils? That's it, this team and the Flyers.
Mm-hmm.
Why not them? Why did you choose?
I mean, the Flyers, like they at the age that I needed to pick a team Like the Flyers really weren't good. They weren't that good.
Okay.
And I didn't necessarily pick teams off of they're good or not. When I was a kid, I was obsessed with the logos. Right?
That's what got
Hockey's
me
the
with my
only
shit too.
sport, one of the only sports that you wear the logo on your chest and
Oh,
nothing
that's true.
else.
I never even
Right?
thought
Think
about
of all
that.
the other sports
That
like
is hard.
football, number, baseball. It's just the down the shirt of the
Yeah.
name. Basketball
I think
was the number,
yeah,
right?
basketball's the closest to
Right, but
hockey,
that's
but still,
still
yeah,
like that's just recent, right? It always was just the basketball was the number, right?
yeah.
And then on the front and back, and them jerseys ain't too crazy. And so that's honestly probably one of the reasons I started playing hockey is because the jerseys on each team and the color schemes
True.
and everything they just were so much more cooler, right? And so
They
this
are cool.
obsession I got, I would go to this site called hockeydb.com. It's still out there. You could search any hockey team's logo, any player. It's a hockeydatabase.com. So
Right, right, right.
basically, you search anything. So what I would do as a kid when the computers were out, I would get on the computer and I would just type in A. And I would look at all the logos of the teams that started with letter A
Oh,
and
what?
B and C, bro.
That's
It was
different.
obsession, bro. And I would just
And you
print
can.
out cool ones. I had this
Oh
whole manila
shit.
folder of all these teams, roller hockey teams, ice hockey teams from all over the freaking
Just
map.
cool
Just
ass
cool
logos and shit.
logos, bro. I was just
That's
obsessed with the
dope.
color schemes and the logos. My dad must have went through fucking thousands of dollars in printer cartridge and ink and shit because I kept printing
You
these
was
things
running it
out. I was
up.
running it up, but he let me do it, so it was cool. But that point, the Flames logo and the Flames, like their jerseys, they had this black jersey with this horse with flames coming out of his nose, and
Oh
it was
shit.
just badass, And
What
I
the
was
hell?
like,
That sounds crazy.
right,
Wait,
right,
is it still like that now?
they just brought it back a little bit ago, like for a season or two ago. They wear it sometimes. It's just badass
Oh
jersey.
man,
And then
you
the
gotta show
flame
me
with
that
the
before you
C with
leave.
the fire on it, it's fire. So that was where I gravitated to. And the Flyers jerseys, like orange, not my color. I think it's just not my color.
Okay, okay.
And the Flyers logo's been the same. And that's like I said, the logos were everything. And the Flyers logo was just so like I think I was maybe like 15 before I figured
What's the
out
Flyers
it
logo
was a
again?
P. It's a
Oh
P
no, that's whack.
with wings on it. You see
That's
what I'm
nah,
saying?
that's whack.
But
That's whack.
it took me years to figure that the
You
fuck
gotta be
out. It
more
doesn't even look
creative.
like a cool P. It's kind of
Yeah.
weird. Like
Nah, that's
hey,
not. You know which one I always liked? Not being a hockey fan, but from afar, in terms of jerseys and logos, fucking is the Mighty Ducks a team?
oh yeah,
Their
yeah,
team,
yeah.
right?
And they've changed their logos up a ton.
I've always fucked with their colors
See,
and
but
their
they used to be
logos.
blue and white and purple back in
Those
the
with the
day, and they were
retros.
retro, right? And now they're orange and black. And they're the
I
second
don't know if I've
orange and
seen
black
those
team because
ones.
they're in Orange County, and they kind of went with the Orange County. Yeah, that's the new Ducks jerseys. They're orange and black, and they're not really new now. They've been that way for like shit 10 years at this point. But them blue ones are the retros. But man, I'm sorry for your boy, man. I cannot see the fucking Lightning win it again. I gotta go with the Avs. It's go Avalanche. Go, all my boys out in Denver. Shout out to the Denver
Oh
squad. It's
yeah,
like, you know,
real quick, another guy to shout out, man. My guy Tyler. I used to work with him. He's an Avalanche fan.
mm,
He lives in Denver. Or he's
oh
from Denver.
yeah.
I think he moved, but he's from Denver. Shout out Tyler. Cause I messaged him the other day. I was like, y'all about to get this trophy?
Yo, they just won game one, game two tomorrow night. We'll see what's up. I mean, I'm telling you, it's cool to see a team three-peat and all, but it can't be the fucking Lightning. I'm sorry. I got a
That
tough
would be
spot in
crazy
my
as fuck
heart.
if they three
It
peated,
would
right?
be. It would be crazy. No, I can't remember when the last team did that.
So I need you to break it down to a non hockey guy like me.
Mm-hmm.
The difference of squads here,
Mm-hmm.
Lightning and Avalanche. Like,
Mm-hmm.
who is there a faster team, a
Yeah.
grittier team?
Yeah.
How's
So
this
you
lining up?
so you got the Avs, who are the new, young, fresh squad. Fast. They got some vets on there who have been around who can carry them
Oh,
through
so
the
they have a
playoffs.
mix of young and
Yeah, but their team's real young. I think they're probably one of the younger teams, and I think the
hey,
Rangers were
no,
the youngest. But they basically are the fast paced flying. They enter the zone flying, But the Lightning, they got the experience, and they've had the same team
right,
almost nearly for these 3 years. So they are just tied in. They didn't even finish that good in this season, but they know how to play in the playoffs. They've
okay,
been doing it for. They're so used to a 150 game season because they've played in the finals for the last 4 years.
right.
Not they won it the last two. They were in the Western Conference Finals last year, and they're about to be. You know what I mean? So they've been playing to the deep ends of the playoffs for the last 4 years. They're ready for this. They are prepared for this. They know what this is entailed. This is like
So as an
next
average
Thursday is
fan,
another fucking Thursday for them.
as an average, or not even average fan, as a casual watcher here and there, I would I would say like, oh well, sounds like the Lightning got the upper hand, but you're picking Avalanche, so why is that?
See, because the Avalanche, they've been stunned a couple times in the playoffs in the prior years. You know what I mean? And
Oh,
so
so
they're
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 coming,
they're coming, and they're just good, bro. They're
really?
really, really good. So they won game one, but that could be because the Lightning they were resting. You know what I mean? And
Right,
they
right.
had some time to rest. But we'll see, man. I think the Avs take it in six, just like the Warriors did. I think they take it in six.
Really?
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
yeah,
It is.
actually, I actually predicted the Warriors to win in six.
Did
Yeah,
you?
yeah, but
Okay.
I didn't put bread on it
I know.
though.
All right. All
I
right.
won some in-game parlays throughout the series, but I should have put bread on it. I should have just
Steph was
went with it.
coming. He was on a mission, bro. My man was,
Cooking,
yeah, my man was
cooking.
doing it out of spite. He
Yeah,
won that motherfucking trophy out of spite.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
He had the shirt on, the Boston shirt. I guess they wore shirts that said, his wife cooks it up, that she's a chef and shit. Aisha Curry can't cook.
Oh
And he had the
wow.
tee on
Oh
after the game.
wow.
Did you see Draymond Green's tee?
Nah.
He had a tee where it was like all Celtics titles. Like it was like a Celtics shirt, all titles, boom, 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 all the years. They had mad titles, goes all the way down. And then the last one is 2022, and it just says, nope, try again next year.
Yeah. Oh
The
yeah. No,
Warriors,
I mean
man,
they were gunning. I saw some
dynasty.
highlights, man. I didn't get to see the game last night, man, but my man was dropping them. Steph was
Dynasty.
dropping them
Yeah,
last
and their
night.
defense is, man, Jason Tatum, Jalen Brown, that whole Celtics unit, they beat the Nets. They swept the Nets. They beat
Mm,
the Heat.
mm.
They beat Giannis in Milwaukee. Like
Right. Right.
they were a tough team. But man, and they got up one game, and the Warriors
Right.
dug in and got it
Right.
in six,
And that's
bro.
how you can tell, man, if you can come back from that. You know what I mean? The Lightning would be a team that if the Avs do go up 3-0, I still can't count them out. You know what I'm
Okay,
saying?
okay,
If they
right, right,
go up
right.
3 games, it's the Lightning will like they have the strength. It's been done before. They've done it. You know what I mean? That shit ain't over until it's over. But I still think that the Avs in six. But we'll see how it plays, man. I've been wrong. I've set my bracket. You know how we do. You set the brackets, and I
Yeah.
got shattered early, so I don't know shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But the playoffs been crazy. I mean,
Honestly, that's what I've
nine,
been
ten
hearing, that
goal
it's been
games and
wild.
shit. It's been absolute crazy. So it's been a nice little ride.
Before we shift from hockey real quick, the only hockey connection, air quotes for sure, that I have is Rangers, right? And like it could be a North Jersey thing, but it's not even that deep. It's really just I fuck with their logo. Like you said, like
Mm-hmm.
that's how
Mm-hmm.
I chose my teams. And like it's not really one of my teams, but I've always fucked with their logos, the Rangers logos and colors. Like I have a red and blue Ranger snapback
Hell yeah.
that goes in, and then I have like the baseball cap, like a faded gray, but
Okay.
with the electric blue
Ooh.
logo. I'm gonna have to show you before you leave.
Ah
Yeah,
ah.
yeah, yeah. And I'm not a hockey guy, but like I fuck with their, like you said, the logos and shit. Uh, so I want to do a quick shift to something else that we can get into real quick. And this is like in terms of, when you play sports, you get banged up, you get injured. You know what I'm
Mm.
saying? Like, and I don't know if you've ever gotten injured. So wait, real quick, to cap the hockey thing, I'm just curious. How long did you play hockey? How many years was that total?
Probably about 16 years.
16 years. Damn.
Yeah, it's been a grip,
That's a
right?
life. Some people are
It's been a
16 years
grip.
old. Like,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
yeah, all right. So wait, do you ever play now? Like, at all?
Yeah, yeah, I still lace them up on
Casually?
Friday nights every once in a
Oh, shit.
while.
All right,
Yeah,
all
we
right, all
do
right.
it up at the Igloo in Mount Holly there. We
I
lace
used
them
to,
up.
I know we said we're
Shout
going to
out
move
to
on.
Al.
Shout out Al. I know we said we're going to move on. Last thing real quick about hockey. Bro, I used to play street hockey back in the day. Shout out to all the homies I had in Delaware, CJ, Ronald, way, way back, kid
Hell
days.
yeah.
We used to play street hockey right with the rollerblades. And I used to love that shit. I'm not going to lie. That shit, I used to rip it. And I did play the old games on like fucking
Yeah,
PS1,
PlayStation
maybe
and shit.
Dreamcast or some shit like
NHL
that.
98.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
Honestly, I do enjoy playing the games. I might have to grab them.
Yes.
Yeah. So shifting away from hockey, injuries they come with the game. They come with sports. I play basketball. That's my thing. Football too, recreationally sometimes. But basketball, you get the casual injuries here and there. But you got injured. You could talk about some hockey injuries if you want. But
Yeah,
I,
my shit didn't even come from hockey, bro. My biggest injury is my dumb ass, bro. I'll tell you what.
that's what I was about
Hockey,
to
I
bring
got
it
a
to.
couple concussions,
Okay.
right? So, like, you get a hit, you get your bell rung. I did get a couple concussions. But nah, my biggest injury, bro, I was skiing. Fucking idiot. I was
I thought you were snowboarding. I was close.
Nah, man. So the key. So I was snowboarding a couple times, and I stunk. and I would leave with a
Really?
black eye and a hurt tailbone, and I'd be like, man, why can't I get this snowboarding down? All my
I
friends are
heard it's hard
good,
though.
right?
Like I heard it's hard.
And then somebody said, well, why don't you just ski? Like you used to play ice hockey, just go skiing. I said, all right, well, that's a good idea. Let me give it a roll. Picked up the skis, bro. I killed it.
You're
I was
moving.
doing so good all day. I was like, man, I've been wasting time on the mountains. I figured it out. I can't wait to go to Vail. I belong in Vail. Like I thought I was the best person, right? So I had a good day all day. No problems. Very last run, my cousin's like, one more. Come on, one more, little cousins. Okay, all right, one more. We'll go. My family's videotaping, man. I come down this hill. I hit one jump on the edge. Cool. I hit the second jump on the edge. Cool. Third jump, bro. I hit that thing dead center. I come up. I'm flailing and flailing, flapping. I hit the ground, bro. And I tumbled. And I kind of, get up. I'm like, whoa. I try to get up, like get on my feet. And
Yeah.
that ain't happening, bro. I just said, nope. Like my body just would not allow it. And so everybody come running over. You good? You good? I said, I think I broke my femur. First words out of my mouth, right? Because that's what I thought. And
You
then
felt like, do you feel
everybody,
some like sensation down there?
well, I was so like I didn't necessarily feel pain, right? And I just felt limited. I couldn't move with my like I tried to get up. I couldn't move. It wasn't necessarily pain. I was in shock. My bone had snapped, and basically I didn't know it yet. So everybody said, "Nah, you didn't break your leg." No, no, no. I said, "Oh, cool, man. Maybe I just ripped every bone in my body because I can't get up." So I basically
You knew it wasn't
it
good.
wasn't good, bro. So they throw me on the toboggan to get me out, and then they cut my clothes off, the whole nine. I basically was sleeping on my dad's couch for 3 months with the whole. That was my injury, man, and I still got the metal rod in my leg. I got
Oh, really?
scars, yeah, but it hasn't. I could still golf. I could still play hockey. I could still
That's good.
run. I'll feel it, right? Like, but it's not too bad, man. I bless him because when you see the video, I kind of land on my back and my neck, like
Oh shit.
and that was hard ice I landed on, bro. So when you see the video, it's almost like, damn, how'd you end up with a broken leg? It's crazy.
Right, right.
So God was definitely on my side that day on some shit, bro.
Yeah,
Like it
yeah.
was just,
What where were you? Like what
it was
PA?
Jack Frost, Big Boulder, one of them. Yep, one of them PA Pocono ones,
I actually
and
never
you
been
know
to the
how they
Poconos.
go. They're all people hit them all day. So by the end of the day, which it was, that's a sheet of ice. So I
Wait. So
came
all
home
right,
and it boom hit down on a sheet of ice, bro.
rewind for a second. You said people hit them all day, so it's sheet ice. You're saying like,
You got skiers, you got snowboarders who were coming down that path all day,
oh, so,
packing that
oh,
snow down. The more skis and the more slickness on top of that snow,
damn.
you walk on it with some sneakers, you're going. See you like
Oh,
so.
let alone like
Right, you're so now
friction
you
with
got skis.
inertia and speed
Right, so
and
now I'm
fucking
flying coming down the hill. I hit this thing, and you're not landing on soft powder. You know what I mean? If I
right,
was up at the top of the mountain and I landed on some soft powder, I probably wouldn't have broke nothing. But
right.
I landed on complete ice. You know what I mean? So that shit was just see ya. You know what I mean? So I was no good, no good. I had a little wheelchair thing.
Yeah, I remember.
Oh
I remember
man.
you had the cane. Like you went from wheelchair to cane. Is that what it
Mhm.
was? I remember you had
Mhm.
the cane. I kicked it
Mhm.
with you a couple times, I think,
Yeah.
with the cane. So I'm curious, bro. I know that's one of those things. Like for me personally, any injury I have that like causes me to like a change in mobility,
Mm.
limiting mobility or walk, run, whatever. Like personally, I hate it. Like I fucking hate because like I'm an active person, man. Like even if it's just something to go for a walk. So rolled ankles, like I play basketball, rolled ankles is the thing. Like oh my god, I can't do this or do this or that for the day or the weekend or whatever. How was the? You said 3 months. How was the recovery on the mental and
Crazy,
everything? I
bro.
know you had like I know it was cool too. Like you probably ran through a lot of movies and shit. Like
Yeah, I
what was that like
binge
though?
watched all of Game of Thrones and Ozark in that
Oh
time. I
shit.
was sleeping on my dad's couch. I was all hopped up on pain medication throughout the midst. I was fucking. It sucked because I couldn't do nothing. I had to get help to go to the bathroom every time. I was peeing in a bottle for the first month. That shit wasn't fun, bro. It was like I couldn't get up, and then to go to the other bathroom, like when I had to go poop, I had to get help up the stairs. There was one time my dad was going away for the weekend. I had to call homie. Yo, are you home? Buddy who lived around the corner. Yeah. I gotta go to the bathroom. Can you come over here and help me up the stairs so I can do my business? Wait here for me while I do my business and then help me down the stairs. So, yo, my man, shout
That's
out
a.
to Kevin, come through and
I
do
was about to
that
say
for
that's a
me, yo.
real friend, man.
KZ, real blood right there. That's love. That's love.
That
Yeah,
is
bro.
love. Sorry, you had the tough times, but you made it out. You made it
Yeah,
through
bro,
it.
we good. We solid, bro. We solid, bro.
Well,
Everything is cool. I gotta say, man, it was. it was, you know, I want to ski again. Like
You
everybody
do?
say, oh, like I'd never do that again. Nah, bro, I can't fucking wait to get back up there. It was a stupid decision that I made, bro. I want to get up on there that
Right.
mountain back. Because I was good at it, so I want to keep going there. But my girl, she's no, we're not going skiing. She's traumatized. I'm traumatized too.
Was
But
she there that day or
yeah,
no?
she was
She
the
was.
first person to run up on me, and she was
Oh
like, oh,
shit.
what happened? I was like, I broke my femur. Mm-hmm.
Damn. I've always wanted to try snowboarding, but I heard it's hard.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what to say, what's easier or not, man. I just know the skis just clicked for me. I
They
mean,
did.
because I was on ice skates for my whole life, so that shit just clicked, man. It just clicked. It's a crazy world, bro. I was just thinking, like, so a buddy of mine, shout out to CJ, yo. He's a good homie of mine, and we're chilling. And speaking of the world and the snow and all that shit, he had come up with this movie idea, right? And so
Oh yeah, yeah. He went to
yeah,
the
so I
shop.
was getting ready to tell you. So he comes up with this movie idea, and it's basically think of us on Earth. We have find another Earth out there, right? There's another, and we find instead of aliens, we find humans,
Okay.
right? And so the story is we find these humans, we venture out, and we have these contact, right? And we have able to get out there. We go to these humans, and we realize that on their Earth, their technology is through the roof. They have figured out how to cure cancer, live to crazy long ages. Uh, the technology of their, healthcare is amazing, and transportation and tech, like phones and computers, and it's all virtual, and it's absolutely, a lot of world hunger is solved. Like a lot of world problems have been figured out because the time has been, they're along in the
Way more
future a
advanced.
bit, right? So they're advanced. They're
Yeah.
not in the future, but they're advanced, right? They're the
Right.
same humans, but they're advanced. They have technology, right? So, there's time spent, seeing the earth and seeing the people, and instead of looking at us as a threat, they say, listen, we want to help, and we can give you guys these technologies. You can take these technologies back to earth. Now granted, this extra planet, they have these technologies, but their earth is kind of gray. They've ran it out of all the resources, right? Because as technology grows, so is climate and all that stuff, and they still haven't figured out the way to, you know on the front end, they haven't figured out the way to revive the planet, and all their technology has kind of depleted the planet, right?
Okay.
So, in this new planet, they tell this us humans. So we gotta think of this like a Chris Pratt kind of character who's going out there. Can you
Right.
envision, right?
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
so Chris Pratt goes out there. He finds a like girl that he gets in love with, right? A little love
Right.
connection happens, right?
Right.
Comes back with the proposition. Now he gets the whole world's in on this at this point, right? This is a world to world interaction. So everybody around the globe knows about this once he comes back, right? So
Okay.
this is a big deal on Earth.
Oh, this is like
Big,
splash news, breaking news.
correct, right?
Okay.
So he's back with the thing from the people over there at Earth 2 or whatever, right?
Right.
So comes back, and they on the surface, everything, they want to give us this technology. These people, these humans at Earth 2, they want to give us this technology. They want to help us out. We could solve world hunger and cancer and diseases and all these food shortages, all these problems that we have, right? So we start to you know incorporate and work with them. Plot twist, and there's a plot twist to it all, that that even though they are wanting to help at this Earth 2, the elites of the Earth 2 and the top guys who we have in our world, the people that are untouchably rich in that world, see our planet as a planet still full of resources like oceans and mountains and trees and beachy, beautiful beaches, and
Yeah.
have all these things, and their Earth still gray because they've depleted it of all the resources. They have just come up with a new technology to kind of savor these resources in a way that their new technology can thrive, and so can the beaches, the water, the air, the clean air, the trees, and the global hasn't taken an impact. So now we're on Earth cooking up plans to think that we're working on a with good on this Earth 2.
Yeah.
But Earth 2 has a diabolical backdoor plan to take over our entire
Swap
Earth.
shit out.
Correct. And then the movie flares out with how we find out about this and how we interact and how we counteract it. And we basically are now at a war with another planet. And now this, once we find out, and it has something to do with that girl love story, right? She has the
Right.
soft heart. She's in tied with the elite on the other side who knows
Right.
that they're not on good. She warns our Chris Pratt man that, listen, this looks good on paper and this all looks good, but you must be careful. They are
Right.
not good. They're not good, right?
Right.
So we get these inside scoops as the movie progresses, right? Or the show or the script play. We don't know which way to take it, but he says then, at the end, there is no official ending, and we're putting this out for anybody who likes the idea. Throw us some endings, you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah,
But we're
yeah.
out
And
here. You
if
got
it's
worlds battling.
right, anybody wants to collab, like whatever.
Right. Talk about these ideas, right? So now at this plot twist, we now have our technology. Their technology is still very far advanced, but we can utilize our Earth's resources to power us in ways that they cannot. And so the how that interacts back and
Yeah.
forth, you know,
We have what they need and they have what we need.
right, how that could work out. And I think, my man CJ was telling me the whole thing, and it is just I think a trilogy could possibly potentially be made on that,
Yeah.
or a whole like a 10
It's
episode
crazy.
series at least,
It's
right?
crazy you
So
said that in advance already because I already thought of how it could go to the second movie, to the sequel.
exactly,
And I'm about to just throw it out right now.
hit
Like,
it,
because they could, the whole movie, first of all, the original pop off of that idea is already going to be insane and crazy. So making the movie and putting it together and everything is going to be fun. It's going to come out great.
right,
To me, like, and this is just off the top of my head, we could break it down in different ways, like on a later date, whatever. But a nice segue that you could do is, uh, because in the original movie there could be a war, casualties, and all of that, right? But towards the end of the movie, there could be a soft mend process, and they could look at it like, hey, all right, this planet is no good, and we have technology. Our planet is good, but it's dying. So we want to make this work, and they could like come to the idea that both civilizations shouldn't use either planet, and they should move to a third planet,
right. There it
and
is.
that could bring the second movie in. You
There
feel
it
me?
is.
Like, what's this second planet? Are they
Planet
gonna
three,
go there? Yeah, right,
right,
right. And like, depending on how you want to end the movie, you could introduce the planet. You could leave it open ended. Like, all right,
right,
there's a
right.
couple planets. You know what I'm saying?
And man, once he started talking about this, my ideas was I said pinging, bing, bing, bing.
Yeah.
But I don't have the resources, man. I said, you ever seen that SpongeBob episode when he's struggling to write the paper and he spends all night and he's just got the
So.
word the with
Yeah,
the
yeah,
beautiful
yeah.
font? You know what I'm saying? I swear that would be like us trying to write this screenplay. Like I just told you what I want to happen in
Right,
the
right,
movie,
right.
but where do you start? Where do
Yeah,
you get a
that's the
pen
tough
and
part.
just the world be nah? So he was saying
Yeah, you
that
gotta
there's
top it
like
all off.
apps out there, and there's computer app programs that will help you write script if we really wanted to go that route. But I
Right.
hope in some of the listeners here, or some of the
Oh yeah,
viewers,
yeah, yeah.
could give us a little insight. Who's out there good on writing screenplays, man?
For
Our boy
sure.
Nick Petit, he's
Oh,
out
true,
there
true.
acting.
Shout
Shouts out
out.
to Nick. And so I don't know what I mean.
Yeah,
I
we can
wanted to bring
form.
that up on the cast because I think that's a beautiful fucking
Nah,
idea,
that is a
and the
beautiful idea.
royalties will go to you, CJ. We're gonna get you them cashes. Trust me, we'll get you them cashes.
Real shit.
Credits on the bottom of the video. You know the vibes.
You already know. A lot of shout outs this video, and I fuck with that,
Yeah,
man. A
man, we
lot of
got a
local
lot of
shout
love
outs.
around here, bro. It's a lot of love, man, and that's what it is, man. I don't want to go home without talking about the love, bro. I mean, when we were younger, when we were listening to that rap, that hip hop, like when we were coming with the street shit, we would never tell each other we loved each other. It was always like
Right.
no homo, right? It was always we would get funny around each other. But these days, bro, we have lost so many. You know what I mean? Our town is taking a beating, bro. Like so many of our homies have lost for crazy different reasons, and so
Yeah.
our town I feel like is not foreign to say we love each other, man, and it's
Right. No,
all
yeah.
love, and
We
it's
definitely
like
embrace, man,
if
on a
we have trust
brotherhood,
for each other
a
and we
sisterhood.
ride for each other at any port in our lives, I feel like it's just I love you, man, and I want nothing the best for you, and it's
Facts.
just it's how it's got to be in this day, like where
It's a
we're
new
at
day and
now,
age,
bro.
man.
Right?
Like
It's
tragedy everywhere,
right. There's
all
too
the
much of that
time.
going on in the world, bro. Like we
Right.
can keep that away from us, keeping love on the front, like keeping love right there. It's like, hey, man, we went some time. We didn't even get to kick it, you know what I mean? And we just started kicking it like recently, but we pick up right where we left
Yeah,
off, and that's
yeah.
how I feel like with a lot of people. Like you don't see them from some times, and like
Right.
there's some people out there where it don't matter, you know what I mean? You just
Yeah,
see them and they
exactly.
pick up right where you left off,
Real
bro.
shit,
It's
brother
like
shit.
that's
Cause
it.
like I think during that time, like obviously we were living our lives or whatever. But even through the gap though, like I remember I came over to 1420 5, 6 years ago maybe. when you were living in Northern Liberties?
Yes,
Northern
yes.
Liberties,
Yep.
Philly, and dude, we would always stay in touch and shit,
Yeah,
man. We would
man.
always stay in touch, and it's always a vibe when we link up. So before we wrap it up, I know we've been going for a while. Let me check the time real quick. Because
Too long. It's too good.
I know, before we wrap it, I want to just graze over, man, just football real quick. I know we don't got to talk too deep about it. We're months away.
Mm-hmm.
We can cleanse our minds from sports. Our Sixers crumbled. You feel me? So right now is the gap between you got hockey, baseball, and all these sports,
They're
but
about to end, bro. We're in the gap.
yeah, we're in the gap.
Baseball's having that's not gonna really fix the sports.
Yeah, it's not. It's not.
So we got to start talking about them fantasy lineups and all that. I mean, we could get a whole nother podcast.
Oh, we're gonna get more deep into it on the next one. But what I want you to speak on these last couple of minutes, man, just for people who. Let me validate you real quick because before your team even gets brought up, it's gonna be people when I say this team that's looking into the podcast. They're gonna look over at Tom and be like, "Man, I like everything Tom had to say, but really, is that his team?" So let me give him the validation. Yes, this team is his team. Kansas City.
Yeah, it's everywhere. I mean, not just the lanyard. It's tattooed on the leg. I was a Kansas City Chiefs fan with the Trent Green, Priest Holmes, Larry Johnson days. I mean, my uncle come home with a jersey signed by Clark Hunt. Everybody I just named, a bunch of other people. I was young. I wore it to school. I shouldn't have, but I still got that jersey. But at that age, that was the age when you got to pick a team. And that was my team. I love their color scheme. Same color scheme as the Flames.
Going by your logo thing, bro. Right? They have one of the toughest logos. Red is my favorite color.
Yeah.
And they just
they just shine out on the field. And so, with all that put together, I had some family who were Chiefs fans. You know what I mean? And they sucked when I was. They were bad for a long time, and then they got Andy Reid, and everything changed. Yeah. And my man's like. It's good to be a Chiefs fan these days, bro. It's good to be a Chiefs fan.
It is.
That Super Bowl was a good time, bro.
Because
Big
before
Charlie,
Alex
shout
Smith,
out to Big Charlie's down in Philly.
Before Alex Smith, that was like the rough years, right? Because Alex Smith started to slowly. Before his injury, he was really in there throwing darts.
But then Andy came in on the back end of Alex's career.
Yeah.
And that's where everything changed.
Yeah, Alex went to San Fran.
I mean, once we got Andy, they were juggling with a coach for a while. After Dick, they juggled. I forget who was even in the mix, and then Andy came through, and then we went from a 2-14 team to just missing the playoffs by a wild card game, and then making the playoffs and losing in the wild card, and then making the playoffs. You know what I mean? And they kept progressing to the pinnacle in fucking 2019, or I think that was it. Yeah, 2019, 2020. To the pinnacle, and then to the finals again. You know what I mean? Tom Brady, and then just to the. You know what I mean? Like we're contended.
You guys
we're contended.
Are a heavy team over the past couple
not
years.
To mention Pat the stud. You know what I mean?
Oh, that's next level.
That's just another. But that's also like, come on, Pat wasn't on the draft lists. You know what I mean?
He wasn't.
He wasn't on them big draft lists. Like that's Andy Reid and
his
fucking
scheme and his plays
doing
them.
I can't believe I'm drawing a blank on the manager right now. Oh, Brett Veach, that's Andy and Brett just doing. They did the same thing in Philly. Like, Brett Veach from Pennsylvania. Andy.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, and they heard their connections from around here. They took their whole vibe and brought it down to Kansas City. They're just creating monsters. So I'm not even mad about the Tyreek Hill thing. You know what I mean? You're gonna
Tyreek Hill, yeah.
I mean, I'm not even mad. You're gonna pay the man. See you later. He's one injury away from becoming just the average wide receiver. With the Chiefs now, what the problem is, we got the draft picks to just work, and we made it work in the draft. Real happy with the Chiefs draft this year.
Good draft.
And two, they're gonna birth these new wide receivers.
For
sure. You know what I'm saying? Sure. Like they picked up Kelsey and Hill late. And then they birthed them to what they are today. So that's what the Chiefs do as an organization.
That is what you do.
So I'm not necessarily worried that we got rid of Tyreek, because I'm now looking forward to these new moves and these new acquisitions and these new amazing players that are about to come through.
Yeah, that I can say that, like, anybody who's looking at the Chiefs and the Tyreek Hill departure and seeing like, oh, they about to fall out. Nah, they're not about to do that.
Right.
Is it gonna be a different vibe? Yes. Of course, Cheetah is the fastest player in the game. Like, you can't replace that.
Right.
But they're still gonna be the Chiefs. They're gonna be in the playoffs. They're gonna be contending. I know, like, I got all full confidence in my squad. We don't play you guys this year.
No.
But in my squad, Minnesota. But whenever we line up with the Chiefs, that's respect. Like, even when you had Alex Smith, like, that was a team to worry about. Like, I mean, you always had a solid running back. You always had playmakers.
Mm-hmm.
you always had that home field. You know what I mean?
That's a big deal over there at Arrowhead. I gotta get out there, bro.
You got to get out there,
I
bro.
gotta get out
When
there.
you go to your teams, like
we,
we live in the pit of the Eagles' nest. You know what I mean? We on game days we see a lot of green. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
Not just in the blunts. You feel me? We see it on jerseys, and we don't. That's not our vibe. So when you see all that, that's family. That's tailgate. That's this. It's cool.
Mm-hmm.
But bro, when you go to your own, like when I go to Minnesota, bro.
It's something else, bro. It's where you be.
Yeah. It's like immediate connection. Immediate connection. So you got to go to Arrowhead.
Yeah,
and like if the schedules line up and everything, like you got to go regardless of your team. But I would love to try to get out there with you too.
Yo,
because I want to experience one of those games.
I think my work sending me out to that area in October. So I think hopefully it's football season. Hopefully the Chiefs are home.
That's
and
cool.
If I can make it work, you know, I might see what's up with it.
Yeah, hell yeah. All right, we'll be at Arrowhead soon.
You know what I mean?
But yeah, bro.
It's been real, dog.
Yeah, time to get in some food.
Yeah, I got a tea time. We got a tea time tomorrow.
Golf?
Early, boy. Yes, sir. Golf is the new wave.
We'll get into that next podcast for sure,
sir.
too.
It's been a pleasure, my guy. It's been a pleasure. Deuce.